Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to coverage of the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. Well, after the clash at Nashville, obviously how crazy that turned out to be last Monday night, we now set ourselves in for the Sim Racer Hub duels at Daytona. Twin 25s, truck races, 30 in each if they all show up. 60 drivers ready to fight for 43 spots in what will be the race, the first points race of season number 2 at Daytona next Monday night. But this is the duels. Fun times, as my colleague William Tiller calls it. I'm Leslie Outland. We got a special guest joining us in the booth, the season 1 inaugural champion. Also with Sick With It Motorsports, Toccoa, Georgia's Adam Fligger, and on production, Adam Newbert is our champion. Adam, welcome, and ready to have some fun in the booth. What do you look at for the duels? What do you take out of these Twin 25 lappers for the big race next Monday?
Oh yeah, man, thanks for having me. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna actually kind of be race controlling and helping y'all out tonight, but I'm looking for the guys that are gonna be up here making moves towards the front and trying to control the race. Those are the guys I want to watch out for, see how aggressive, see who the aggressors are. Just kind of take notes on that for next week during the big race, so I can know who I need to hang out with or know who I don't need to hang out with.
That's Adam Newbert. And William Tiller, I got to ask you the same question, man. We talked about this before we come live on the air. This is, if you will, the scrimmage before the big points race and how things get started, no doubt, next Monday night. One of the words you used is fun. We're ready to see what these duels will provide in these Twin 25s tonight. William Tiller, are you there? Okay.
Of course, Wesley. I am here loud and clear, Wesley. But to answer your question, there were 30 drivers in each duel here tonight. You're looking at about 60 drivers who want to make themselves known here in these duel races. Of course, Wesley, you're not racing for any points. You want to set yourself in a good starting position for next week. But you also want to make some noise here tonight, especially in some of these fields. You know, in this first duel, you're looking at Adam Newton, Joey Doucette, Kyle Hess, Robbie Richards. I mean, these fields are stacked for these duel races. I cannot wait to kick off Speed Weeks.
And we've got a little flair along the way. We've got special driver analysts of NASCAR that are joining us in the broadcast booth. Of course, who better then the inaugural Sim Racer Hub Truck Series Season 1 champion, then Adam Newbert. I know he's going to be doing double duty in race control as well, but we'll grab him along the way. If something happens, he'll have to step aside. But Adam Newbert, of course, one of the members of the NASCAR podcast every Wednesday night. And being the champion, man, what did you think of Season 1 of this series? And obviously ready to defend your crown, and you'll be in Duel 2 later tonight as well.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it in the drivers' meeting a little bit ago. This is a really exciting series that really kicked off last season. It kind of got off to a little rough patch at the start of it, first 4 or 5 races last season. But then, man, these guys, everybody in the series just gelled together really good. Everybody learned each other. Everybody, we all kind of became a good group to race against, and we had a really strong finish to the season. I don't think I'll ever get tired of hearing y'all call me the champ. So I think I just want to go out here this season and maybe try to go a little back-to-back.
Try to go back-to-back. No other rules to go, but obviously forward and be the man at the top seat again when it's all said and done. But you got a bullseye on you as well as the warm-up clock is about to expire. So listen, William, everybody qualified last Monday night before the clash at Nashville leading up to this race. So when this field grids in a matter of seconds, it is the first of the Twin 25s.
It sure is, and it's the first chance we're going to get to see these drivers here at Daytona. And Wesley, I cannot wait to see, as it looks like Tyler Daniels is going to kick off Duel race number 1.
Yeah, let's give you the starting lineup of, again, the 30 truck field in Duel number 1 for the Sim Racer Hub Duels at Daytona. Tyler Daniels again on the pole for Wedline Racing. Adam Newton on the front row for Sick With It Motorsports. Row 2, we'll find Joey Doucette as well as Kyle Hess. Row 2. Row 3, Robbie Richards as well as Sean Hamilton. Row 4, we'll find Brandon Bullock and Brady LaBeouf. Your top 10, William, will be Chris Kynes and Kerry Tribune.
Oh, yeah, starting off in the 11th position, we have the 79 of Donnie Lyons. 12th, we have the 923 of Joey Steers coming off that clash win. Watch out for the 923 here tonight. 13th position is going to be the 81 of Taylor Peacock. 14th position is going to be the 11 of Derek Kilgore. 15th spot is going to be the 21 of Lance Miller. 16th spot is going to be the 37 of Raul Meza. 17th position is going to be the 88 of Jeffrey Johnson Jr. Bringing out that 88 for the junior on the end there. I like that touch. 18th position is going to be Jacob Klinkart. Changing up numbers this season. Going to rock the number 1. 19th position is going to be the 20 of Jose Luis Rivera. And rolling off 20th here tonight, a colleague of ours, Wesley, the 34 of Tyler Dittmer.
We'll have Tyler Dittmer in the broadcast booth as well. Cody Knott, the Warrior Racing entry. Starting 21st, Tyler Dittmer. 22nd, Tim Hammond in the truck number 69. Keith Haney in the number 87. And to his outside, Nate Maurer in the 971. Moving on to row 13, Jess Grage in the number 00 for Warrior Racing. And the free agent, I like that, the 527 of Landon Price. Top 30 includes Jonathan Pugh for Red Line to the 19. Jeff Sickles, the boss of course, Adam Newbert and Sick With It Motorsports, a.k.a. Swim. Dylan Murray and Jonathan Wiley. That is the lineup of the 30 trucks that were invited. It looks like maybe 26 have answered the call to go here in Duel number 1. So we gave you the 30 truck lineup field. That was the official roster that was given to us, but obviously maybe some people decided to back in, back out. But I'll tell you what, though, Adam Newbert, what's the mindset getting ready to come to Green Flag here in Duel number 1 or even in the duels before this Twin 25? You got to get to the front. You got to stay in the front. You got to stay out of trouble in a hurry, I believe.
Yeah, these guys are coming to 1 to green right now, but yeah, some of these guys, I kind of talked to some of the other drivers out there. Some of these guys are planning on just going for it, staying up front. The other guys are planning on hanging around in the back. And kind of wait until the last 10 laps, maybe to see if there's a wreck, try to avoid it. Wait till the last 10 laps, and they're going to try to make a charge for the front here. I tell you, these guys, they can only go about 16 to 18 laps on gas. So,
yeah. Well, it's probably a good idea then, William Tiller, that we got Adam Newbert in the booth for just the first half of this race so he can actually focus on the craziness that will happen at the end. Because I got a feeling it's going to be comfortable, but then it's going to get chaotic. But you even said yourself, though, William, watch out for Duel number 1. You think this is going to be a pretty wild race right here?
Yeah, and I think it is, and I think with the exception of Adam, who we're joined by with here in the booth, this is probably the most stacked duel we're going to see all night long here. I'm looking at some of these names. We had 3 out of the final four competitors from last season in this duel race here tonight, Wesley. So watch out in this duel race number 1. I think Adam's going to have his eye on some of these competitors in this race.
Yeah, ready to see how things go. We've got 4 special guests, by the way, joining us. I think we mentioned Adam Newbert, of course, here with us right now. Coming up at halfway, Brandon Broadfoot will be joining us in the broadcast booth. Tyler Dittmer will be joining us at the end of, or at the start of dual race number 2. And we'll be also joined by Joey Doucette as well. So those are our 4 special guests that are bringing us into this, this Sim Racer Hub duels at Daytona. Lights are off now officially on the pace truck. They are 2x2x2 up the 24 degrees of banking here at the virtual World Center of Racing at Daytona. William, I just get giddy. I get excited. I love super speedway racing. I think we're going to see another exciting one here when the green flag drops in just a moment.
Oh, the smile is on my face, Wesley. I haven't seen Daytona in a long time in these trucks. You got to think the last time we saw it was way back in August when we kicked off last season. This is getting us excited for the start of this season here. Wesley, let's get us going.
Field ready to go, 2x2, 13 rows, 26 strong to lock in the duel. Feature number 1, you have a race. Green flag is in the air. On the jump, it's going to be the machine of Daniels. He'll carry all that momentum on the bottom of the racetrack. Daniels, Newton, Doucette, all those drivers climb the banking up into turn number 1.
Coming off a 2 right now, still side by side for the race. Lead still stacked up now for a second. Our race leader, Tyler Daniels, going to take us off of 2 down the back stretch right now. We're 2x2, Wesley, still settling in for position.
Watching him go 1 truck behind that double yellow line, staying down to the inside. Now, Adam, that's fair, correct? There's no DQ like in NASCAR if you go below the double yellow line and advance your position.
Well, you can't go below the double yellow line during the race and advance your position in NASRA. I think it may be a rule, and because I should know this, but I think on the white flag, if you get forced down there, it's okay. You can't advance your position. He's actually dropping below the fallback, so there's no penalty for that.
That's good. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, that's something new to me because I've known a lot of iRacing series that below the yellow line, it's fair game, obviously, but I like that they are enforcing that right now, watching all these drivers work their way. Raul Meza, the Serve Pro, number 37. If we do get a caution, we'll be mentioning them in the broadcast from now on this year, at least for the NASRA Monday night Sim Racer Hub Truck Series Serve Pro on that machine. He's got a big burst of momentum as they're coming to the line here with some help from the number 1 as they close in on lap number 2. That's Klinkart giving a push there to Meza across the line. Look at him just stay to the inside. What a move to the front there, William.
Yeah, Raul Meza, a veteran here in NASRA. We see him in almost every series, but just has that series of unfortunate events happen to that 37 machine right now, leading the way off of 2. Big move, though, to get in front of Tyler Daniels, who's now right on the back bumper here. We see Daniels go to the outside off of 2. We now have a big push from Klinkart on the outside. We have a drag race into 3.
I was going to say things are kind of looking pretty calm those first couple laps for the most part. Now you got some guys trying to dance around. You got some guys trying to head to the back, like Brady LaBeouf and his team. Some of his teammates were trying to head back there. Now you got some guys. You know, Raul Meza, he got a huge run on that outside coming off turn 2 to get to that lead. So see if he can hold it right here on this inside.
And Adam, I wanted to ask you here as we cross this line with 22 laps to go, are you surprised by the pace of these drivers pushing it? If you were racing in this duel, would you pace back a little bit, or would you, with 22 laps to go, try to get to the front?
I can tell you're going to see me in the back in the second deal. I don't really like to get up front in these plate races early on. I like to go hang around in the back and try to just hope to be there at the end. See, Adam Newton, that's his plan. I knew he was going to do that. He's going to drop to the back.
Well, right now, again, in these twin 25s, obviously, if you do the math, that's it's probably about 75 miles for the duels distance here today at Daytona tonight. And right now, closing in on 3 laps in, 22 to go. And right now, we got trouble. A couple of trucks tangle each other into the pack. into the safer barrier, spins down to the bottom of the apron. Some more trucks now go up the track to the bottom of the racetrack, and that is going to trigger our first Serve Pro caution. Yellow flag out over the Speedway. First time tonight. It's presented by Serve Pro. Restoring homes affected by fire, water, mold, or even hurricanes like it never even happened. Serve Pro. Here's a look at the replay, William. And again, just a couple of trucks out of nowhere into the safer barrier, and the caution called on the Speedway.
Yeah, you see some new rookies in the mix there. You see some vets as well. You see Taylor Peacock there in the 81 machine. You see this contact. Oh, I don't know, Wesley. I don't know if that's true contact there, or iRacing deemed it was contact. Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like to me. That was a clear case of netcode right there off of the corner. Just a shame, though, here in these dual races. As mentioned, we kicked off the broadcast here. Some of these rookies trying to make themselves known. There's Donnie Lyons in the 79. He's not a rookie per se. He's trying to get his Goodyear Eagles rolling in the right direction. Not a good way to kick off Speed Weeks, Wesley.
Yeah, man, that's a very tough break, if you will, as we are under the yellow flag in the opening laps. And, well, I had a feeling it was going to happen. Not that fast, though. Danny Lyons, again, the 79, involved in that incident, of course, for 979 Racing involved in the accident. So, well, just a little bit of contact there. And Adam Newbert, I know you're the race director, but you're also a guest driver analyst. What's your take of what just happened there entering the tribal out of turn number 4?
Yeah, it looked like that 511. I don't know if he got loose or he just kind of kept turning left coming off that corner. It looks like he just kind of went down there. A little bit of netcode with the 79, but he's ultimately going to be charged with the cause of that crash.
He's referring to the driver of Jonathan Wiley, the Highline Racing entry. We're again, under our first service Serve Pro caution flag of the race, and I find it ironic that everybody's coming down to the pit lane at least, less than 4 laps into this thing now, William.
Yeah, a very interesting pit call here, but I could see it here, Wesley. Only a couple laps into this race. You switch it out, see what kind of speed you can garner from this. As Adam touched on when we kicked off this race, it's a shorter race per se for some of these guys. I'd say with this pit stop, you could probably push it to the end. You can maybe gamble a little bit, Wesley, depending on if there's another caution towards the end. You see Tim Hammond, the 69 machine there, back in the mix. One of those drivers who got eliminated early on in those playoff races last year. See Joey Doucette riding off pit road, Raul Meza in the 37. So here tonight, we'll see if some of these guys can use this pit strategy to their advantage.
All right, so again, under another round of pit stops here. 6 laps into this thing, of course. So Tyler Daniels, the man that leads the way. Joey Doucette is in second. You know, Joey's going to be one of our driver analyst guests in duel number 2, along with Tyler Dittmer. How special would that be to bring in Joey Doucette if he could get the Oakland Maine driver to win in the Chevrolet for duel number 1 there, William?
Absolutely. He would do double duty. He'd do his victory lane interview and then just hop right back in the booth to do his analytic point of view for that race here. And again, thank you to these drivers spending the time with us here tonight. I know it kind of takes them away from practicing or scheming for their dual races. But again, we want to really talk to them, catch up with them, especially our champ here, Adam Newbert, who we have up in the booth right now with us before everything really kicks into gear next week, Wesley, when we officially kick off Season 2 of the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series.
It's Tyler Daniels, the leader. Joey Doucette in second. Jacob Klinkhart is third. Raul Meza fourth. Joey Steers is in fifth. And if I remember, Joey Steers is coming off of that win in the clash at Nashville last Monday night. Joey Steers, Taylor Peacock, Robert Richards, Kerry Tribune, Jose Luis Rivera right now your top 10. He is up 10 spots. He started this race in the 20th position as all this is going on. Got some more drivers actually pitting as we're also getting the 1-to-go indication.
Yeah, I think some guys were trying to go down there and top off on fuel for that one. See some guys trying to do that. They'll go in and top off on fuel. This might turn into be a fuel strategy race. If you're trying to draft and go really, really fast, you're going to burn a lot of gas. We know we can only go about 16 to 18 laps on gas. with a 60% fuel tank. So some of those guys might be playing a little bit of strategy right there. Might want to watch out for these guys that did not come in and top off.
Excellent point of view there from last year's champ. And Adam, you know, we're looking at 7 laps here, looking at this restart. What are you trying to do here in this restart? Are you trying to find maybe a friend here to roll with for a little bit? Are you trying to get a good jump? What's your main objective here on this restart?
At this point, still observing. At this restart, if I just went in and topped off on fuel, I want to hang around in the back for a little bit longer. Keep in mind, folks at home, the further back you are in this pack and this lead draft at Daytona, the more gas you're saving. So if these guys are worried about fuel, they're going to be trying to kind of hang out in the back, not use as much throttle, save a little bit of gas. You're going to kind of see some of that here. But some of these guys up front, they may not make it. They may just go for it.
Yeah, I have to say I agree with you on that. As the pace truck is getting ready to come to the pit lane, you're literally going to use up more, obviously. You're going to use up more fuel trying to stay up in the front of the pack and hold off in the lead everybody behind you than you will, obviously, coming from the back and drafting your way back through the field. Green flag back in the air. And, of course, that will wrap up a Surf Pro caution. That ticker can disappear as Joey Doucette now is going to power to the lead. Up on the outside. He's got that Surf Pro machine, a Raw Meza up on the outside, trying to look for the lead on Klinkhart, as well as we work the back straightaway. William Tiller into 3.
Yeah, very squirrely exit off of 2 right there. You saw the 37 with the big steer right there, trying to stay in that draft. He wants to stay in this pack if he wants any shot of a great finish here in this dual race. But boy, is this pack stack coming off 4 right now as Daniel saw a race leader leading a pack of some hungry dogs here as we cross the line.
All right, so all of this transpiring here is Tyler Daniels. Still the man leading the way. That's that Rainbow Buddy Project 25 Chevrolet down to the inside. Doucette to the outside. Meza with a push there with some other help behind him. That's in the link of Peacock. Taylor Peacock there. And here's on board with that Surf Pro 37 Raw Meza. Another shot to Doucette on the outside. We're closing in on 15 to go. It'll be 10 laps completed when they come to the line this time by. They're up the banking. Tiller into 3.
Yeah, Raul Meza right now trying to give a good push to the 16 to Joey Doucette. Again, we're getting a great shot, an on-board ride with the 37 right now as we're off of 4 with 16 laps to go. We have our defending champ, Adam Newbert, here in the booth. Adam, how sketchy is this draft right now? You see the trucks bouncing around.
Oh, yeah, I just saw Raul Meza get almost absolutely sideways coming in that tri-oval. I'll tell you what, that outside line's got a group of aggressive drivers. Really exciting guys to watch. Joey Doucette, I'm really excited to race against him this season. Raul Meza, really aggressive on these plate tracks. Taylor Peacock loves racing plate tracks. He's going to be aggressive. Those 3 guys on that outside right there, they're going to push hard trying to get this lead right here. And then some other guys coming up like Tim Hammond and Brady. Brady LaBeouf pushed Tim Hammond up to the back of this outside line last lap by. So got some guys coming up here trying to start making some moves.
And got to be safe as well, not to bump, draft, or push anybody out of line, as we see now Klinkhart under attack behind the Daniels machine. Meza now gets some company up on the outside by the Peacock truck. They have outstuck it 3 and 4 wide. An oohing and on indeed by both of you fellas as they save it going back to turn 1. But now we got Doucette back to the lead up the banking. Daniels will throw the block in the corner out of 2.
Yeah, huge block from Daniels there on the low side right there. Klinkhart changing numbers, but not changing the skill in the cockpit of that machine right there off of 2. Boy, it gets so hairy right there. Wesley makes me sweat just a little bit up here in the booth, but these drivers know what they're doing right now as we're 2 by 2 down into 3.
Yeah, I just want to cringe there for just a moment watching Daniels down to the inside. Here comes now the outside lane work with Doucette again. And now also, obviously, the one at Klinkhart down to the battle. They bang off of one another on the side draft with Meza's truck. Doucette now also in that mix. Oh, Joey Stiers now, the Clash winner. All these drivers in the mix here, Adam, as they work back into turn number 1.
I got to tell you, this is really fun to watch from up here. These guys are going at it. There's no patience, I don't think, right now. These guys are kind of racing really hard, but it's fun to watch. I don't think I want to be a part of it.
I don't think you want to be a part of it either, but we are going to let you go because you have to focus on your race directing duties, man. You're a jack of all trades, a master of none. You wear it all, brother.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for having me. really looking forward to another good season here. Hope y'all have fun up in the broadcast booth. Thank y'all for being up here. Thanks for letting me join y'all.
Defending your crown as well, and obviously get ready for Duel 2 coming up.
All right, yeah, we'll see y'all later. Have a good one,
Ladies and
everybody.
gentlemen, that's the driver from Tacoma, Georgia, Adam Newbert, the defending champion of the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series, joining us in our broadcast booth. And now we're going to be joined, I believe, now in another lap or so. I believe we got him actually in the box, ready to go right now with another driver that'll be one of our guest analysts. Of course, this is going to be the driver of the number 22 Hunter Performance 979 Motorsports entry, Brandon Broadfoot, now joining us here. Brandon, welcome to Daytona. We're halfway through in Duel 1. What's your take of the race so far?
Hey, yes, sir. I'll correct you there on that, Wesley. I'm actually with 979 this season, but hey.
I thought I said that. I thought I said that.
I was on Hunters, but then I went back to 975, but hey, all good. Doesn't matter. It's pretty good so far, other than that mishap with the Wiley and Donnie Lyons, my teammate there. But it looks like he didn't get any major damage, so he's out here with the 21 of Lance Miller, looking pretty strong, but loving the race so far, though.
I think we're setting ourselves up, Brandon and William, for that late race pass. Everybody just kind of getting into position to set now. Contact. Meza's in the fence. Peacock turned around. Oh, no, man. Big trouble. I thought they were all going to be minding their P's and Q's, and we just got Hamilton and others littered down the racetrack. Wow. Chris Kynes is involved. Another Tyler Dittmer, one of our broadcast analysts, coming up. The 33 wrecked as well.
That was huge.
My.
You got Raul Meza, of course, in the 37 right there. Some rookies. You got Sean Hamilton in the 89s involved. Jeffrey Johnson Jr. looks to be involved as well. Lance Miller. A lot of trucks involved in here, Wesley.
Well, unfortunately, this is going to trigger, ladies and gentlemen, another Surf Pro caution on the Speedway. And, Brandon, what's your take of what we're seeing here, man? I think I jinxed everything. I thought everything was going to be triple C's, and that's Calm Cool Collective, and instead all hell broke loose.
Yeah, it looks like Raul Meza kind of came down just a little bit to get a little bit of side draft, and went up to the top lane and collected Taylor Peacock, and the rest of the field just went on from there, kind of a chain reaction. But just kind of hard racing there, kind of getting a side draft just to get close to the front, and just kind of went wrong.
Yeah, what heartbreak there again. Another Serve Pro caution on the Speedway, of course, brought to you by Serve Pro. Big thanks to Serve Pro being on board now for free and water cleanup and restoration. Serve Pro. And there is Meza bouncing off of Daniels. Daniels keeps forward momentum. Doucette keeps going. Clinkhart, everyone else on the bottom, somehow continues along. And then you've got everyone else into the fence. Meza turned, and then everyone else, William Tiller from there is.
Boy, I tell you what, Wesley, we're going to need some of those fine folks at Surf Pro to come clean up that mess in 3 and 4, because that was a lot of trucks involved, a lot of guys trying to get their seasons kicked off in the right direction. Look at Tim Hammond here in the 69 machine. He's going to be right in the thick of this here. For a lot of these guys, they've been counting down the weeks here, Wesley. We're about 2 weeks, 3 weeks removed from the conclusion of season 1. Clash race, of course, was a fun race for everybody, but here tonight, everybody was dialed in, ready to be focused, and I think that just took out at least 7 or 8 trucks there.
Yeah, I see some more trucks like Lance Miller banging off of Jeff Johnson. Obviously, man.
And we got 10 laps to go, and it should get a little bit more interesting at the end, but that's a lot of cars that trucks that got collected there.
The word 75 miles, it sounds like a lot, if you will, Brandon Broadfoot, but that's only 25 laps. That's not a lot of time, especially even around a 2.5 mile like Daytona.
Yeah, definitely. That's really not a lot of time. Not a lot of time to kind of hang back and ride around. These guys are trying to set themselves up for a good starting position next week, because it's hard to pass here. or not hard to pass, but it's only two lines. You can make a third line, but it can get a little trickier. It's not like Talladega, so from a driver's perspective, being in the middle there, the wind or the air on both sides, it just makes things loose. So.
Yeah, Brandon, while I have you up here in the booth as we're under caution, a few things for you as a driver. New number this year, sounds like a new team as well. Kind of break down what you're looking forward to here in this new season.
Yeah, and I'll elaborate on that a little bit with the whole number. Brady asked me if he wanted to swap with the numbers since him and Chris Blanchard were kind of back and forth with the 9 and 14. And I said, yeah, that's fine. I'll get the 22. And then I was actually going to leave and go to Hunter Performance Motorsports, and then got a call from or a message from Donnie Lyons, the owner of 979, letting me know that one of the guys wasn't working out. He wasn't communicating or something. Not for sure what happened, but anyways, he was asking me to come back, and I said that door is open. I'll come back. So
Here we go.
So I'm back on 979 with a. It looks like a good group of guys. So look forward to this season. Can't wait. Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, so are we, and we're excited for the drop of the green flag. Here it goes. Everybody, this is the last bit of racing here in Duel Race number 1 as we cruise down to corner number 1.
All right, we'll see how all this transpires. Again, we're joined in the booth with Brandon Broadfoot. He'll be in action along with Adam Newbert as our guests of Duel number 1, Duel 2. They'll be in those events right now. Doucette and Clinkhart with Daniels on back. All these trucks somehow hold it together, and there's a little bump draft and a slight push, and they work their way to the back straightaway down below the bottom of the yellow line. Clinkhart trying to make that move on Doucette. It's just not time yet, Adam, as they William, as they go into turn number 3. I don't think you need to make a move just yet for the lead.
No, but he's trying right now. Jacob Clinkhart in the 1 machine has that nose right where Joey Doucette doesn't want it. Right there on the left side of that fender. That's the no-no spot for these drivers. That'll get you loose. That'll put you in the wall. He wants to be directly center with that back bumper to give Joey a good push there at the top. Right now, he's putting Joey in a dangerous position going into 1.
I tell you what, we're watching all this transpire. We've been on the air for probably about, close to 35 minutes. We've had 2 multi-car crashes in here in these duels down the back stretch. But Brandon, when do you make your move? When is the right time to push to the front now as we come to 5 to go at the line?
About 5 to go. You see some guys in the back trying to shuffle up and try to get a good run on the outside, but I'd say don't wait. Go now. 5 laps. I got a lot of chatter going on in the behind the scenes here, but yeah, 5 laps. You should go now. Try to form up a second line there because, like I said earlier, you can't really do a whole lot unless you want to force a 3 wide, and that's kind of playing with fire there. So I'd go right now.
And there goes Tyler.
And of course, we've still got the Serve Pro caution logo on the bottom right of the screen. There is not a caution out now.
Watch out, lap truck, Wesley, coming up on the.
Yeah, we're about to have another Serve Pro caution if they don't hold on. Split them 3 and 4 wide. All these trucks going at it there in the corner.
It really gets you nervous with the lap cars there up against the wall. Very, very, very scary.
Yeah, coming off of 4 right now. Joey Doucette still leading the way, but a lot of moving pieces, a lot of Jenga pieces behind him. Right now, he's going to go 3 wide down the front stretch. Right now, 4 second new race leader, Jacob Clinkhart across the line as we go down to 1.
4 laps to go, 10 miles remaining here in Duel 1. A little touch there by Peacock, man. He gave him a little shot there to the machine of the 1. Here's the 923 correction with that little bump. That's Joey Steyer's actually. Steyer's winner at Nashville in the Clash race last Monday night with a wild yellow flag fest that was. Surf Pro would have been loved to be the sponsor of that caution flag sponsor at Nashville last week. But right now, Steyer's up under Clinkhart. They're coming to the line, Will, and this is going to be 3 to go as they work off turn 4.
I don't think we've seen the last of the caution flag right now, Wesley, as these trucks are beating and banging, looking like bumper carts out here on the racetrack. We're riding on board with Adam Newton rocking that Toyota here tonight down to corner number 1. We have 3 laps to go. Throw up those threes. Rest in peace to Dale Earnhardt, because we're about to conclude Duel race number 1 and has been mucho caliente from the drop of the green flag right now as Quickart goes for the lead off of 2.
And our broadcast partner, Dittmer now, bobbing, weaving, showing his talents. Well, he's not just great at the broadcast booth. I call him our AJ, of course, Allmendinger, if you will, of the booth, or Parker Kligerman of the broadcast booth for NASRA. And he's racing more this year, and he's right there in that pack. All right, you're coming to 2 to go. Obviously, this is when things start really coming into play to determine the finish, Brandon, as you're coming to the line.
Yes, sir. Yeah, if you see how tight up they are right now, coming around 2, almost, getting close to the white flag. These guys are going to start pushing with everything they got.
Yep, there's the move of the 82 down to the bottom. Adam Newton, he thought about it. Miller. All these drivers working to the back straightaway. They're making their run on Tyler Dittmer now, the Gore, Virginia native. Down the back stretch, William, as they're coming to the white flag into 3.
I'm loving the black and white machine of the 34 machine down into corner number 3 right now. He's leading a trail of hungry dogs behind him, though, with 2 laps to go. There goes Tim Hammond with a big move to the low side. He wants to put his name into contention right now as we're off of 4. This race is yet to be decided, but the white flag makes it official as Tyler Dittmer takes that white flag down to 1.
This is it. White flag is in the air. Oh, we got Clinkhart. Clinkhart just got turned to the fence. He's in the wall. More trucks are crashing. Richards has crashed. The 78 is spun down to the bottom of the apron as well. That's Jeff Sickles. We're still under green. No
Adam
caution.
Newton leader.
New leader,
Adam Newton's
Newton.
a race leader.
Newton around Miller. Around Dittmer. Down the back straightaway. Can Dittmer get it back, though? They're going to the back straightaway. Into turn number 3. Working halfway. Final lap. Duel 1. Trucks crashed everywhere. It's down to these 2.
Does he have it, Wesley? Does he have it? Lap trucks on the low side. Lap trucks on the low side.
And Newton now stays to the top. Tyler Dittmer now back to the bottom. He goes to the inside. He turns into the grass. They run each other to the infield. And it's still going to be checkered flag going out to Adam Newton. Adam Newton's going to win the race. Wow.
What a finish. What a finish to that. Oh, my. Oh, that was
Fight and
good.
claw. Lap trucks, get out of my way. Use them as a pick, William Tiller. That's exactly what Adam Newton did. Point, listen to this, audience, 0.005 at the line. Can we show the replay one more time of the off the pole instant replay? Watch this as the pyro shoots on the back stretch on the Daytona super stretch. Oh my goodness, Brandon Broadfoot, do you give props to Adam Newton not lifting there?
Oh, yeah. It's all out the window right at that point. That was a super, super awesome ending there. You go for it. It doesn't matter. Checkers. You get the checker flag, you do whatever you can at the end there, and that was awesome.
We're in reverse because our cameraman is showing you the replay here. Watch this coming off of turn number 3, if you will. Probably, okay, maybe a little bit further, back. Okay, well, yeah, a little bit, yeah, I guess that'll work right there. Watch this. Lap trucks all in the way. A skirmish to the inside. Dittmer now says, I've got a shot. I've got a chance. That's what you're thinking, right, Brandon Broadfoot? And then he says, inside, go for the move.
And he had that window open right there. Window of opportunity.
And William Tiller, opportunity awaits, knocks, access denied. Newton is not backing off, and they bump and grind each other down to the bottom of the apron to the grass turf. And you see Newton's going to win it because the truck is sideways in front of the other one.
And no, Wesley, and I don't think this is going to be the last. So you're going to see these two trucks at the finish line this season. I think both drivers, this is going to ignite such a fire underneath both of them. I think Adam Newton's going to rack up some wins. I think Tyler Dittmer's going to rack up some wins. I cannot wait to see what these two drivers have in store for the official start of season 2.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brandon Broadfoot, again, joining us. Thanks again also to Adam Newbert, also joining us in the booth. I think we're going to try to get Adam Newton as we just have time to talk to the Duel 1 winner, and then we got to take a break, and we'll bring in Tyler Dittmer, of course, when it's all said and done. But right now, joining us, I believe, in the waiting room, ready to join us in the broadcast booth is Adam Newton, Duel 1 winner. Adam, 0.05 seconds. This DSR electric machine was not going to be denied Duel number 1. Your take of this wild race and what you had to do to hold off Tyler Dittmer.
A little bit of faith, a little bit of luck, and God on my shoulders. It was a good race. I knew what I had to do. I had a little run, tried to play the lap traffic a little bit, and it all worked out.
On a driver perspective, Brandon Broadfoot, what kind of question would you have for Adam Newton about what we just saw?
Yeah, Adam, on that last lap right there with Tyler Dittmer right behind you, what's all going through your mind on between 3 and 4, right when you're coming out of that corner into the trial? What's going through your mind at that point? If you want to stay high, if you want to lift, or if you just go for it all?
At that point, it's just watch for the run and go for it all. I mean, playoff points involved in this, and they add up at the end of the year. And being my first season with y'all guys, you need to make a name that you're clean, but you need to make a name that you're fast and that you'll work with people. So that was a big thing that I was trying to do.
Again, Adam, congratulations, bud, on your victory. It might not be the big one, but hey, any checkered flag is a good one. So congratulations again, bud.
Thank you.
William, you got a question for the winner, Adam Newton?
Yeah, Adam, we've seen you in other series. We saw you last season in the series as well. What does this do to your confidence level? Does this motivate you even more? Does that give you maybe the thought of maybe I can win some races in this series now? What does this do for this coming up in 1 week's time when we officially kick off season 2?
It builds a little bit of confidence to know that, you can learn who you can race with and that you can be competitive. That's all you want to do in any league you're in, is just try to be competitive and have fun and help your teammates out. And that's my biggest goal for this year.
Well, Adam, when it's all said and done, man, you're going to be on the pole for Daytona next Monday night. So that's got to be a good feeling too, and thanking your sponsors in closing as well.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to swim teammates, Millie's Landing, A's Landscaping, Daryl's Nail Gun Repair, Lanco, First Pacific Funding, Roofco, Spoochula's, The Family Handyman, Millie's Restaurant, Millie's North, Dan at DSR Electric, putting his name on the truck, and Sim Racer Hub as being a sponsor, y'all guys, and thank my teammates Jeff, Adam, Steve, Derek. I mean, and God, thank God too, because he gives us the ability to do this.
That'll be a fun one for sure for Swim and the DSR Electric Toyota number 82. Again, Duel 1 winner is Adam Newton here in the Sim Racer Hub Truck Duels at Daytona. Well, the fun thing is we're going to re-rack them, restack them, and do it all over again. Brandon Broadfoot, it's been fun having you in the booth here for the Duels, man. Thank you.
It's always good being in here with you guys, and enjoy the second duel. It should be fun. Got to go get ready now.
I think you're starting 19th, so that should be fun, right?
Oh, yeah. I'll
William,
come back and talk with you guys.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Brandon Broadfoot again joining us as well as the champion of last year in season one, the inaugural champion, Tacoma, Georgia swim driver, Adam Newbert. Newbert. So, William, before we wrap up duel number one, your final take of it, man. Exciting. I think what you said lived up to the billing. It was an entertaining race and somebody that is new, making a name quickly in Adam Newton for the series.
And I think so too, and especially talking about our colleague, going from the booth, Tyler Dittmer, he was itching to get on the racetrack. You see him coming second there, but the moves he made during that race, Wesley, gets me excited to see what that 34 machine can do. Now he's got a full season to race, going to be in a team. A lot of high hopes at 34 machine, but like you said, Adam Newton coming in, winning this exciting duel. We talked about the names that were in this dual race, and Adam conquers it all there in dual race number one.
Yeah, let's take a look real quickly at the results of duel number one as we'll take a commercial break and we'll reset them and do it all over again in duel number two. The winner, obviously, we're going from the back to the front. Can we go to the front to the back? Okay, there we go. Adam Newton, the winner. In duel number one, Tyler Dittmer again second. He will be joining us in the booth as one of our guest analysts for duel two coming up later on. Brandon Bullock was third. Tim Hammond, Kyle Hess, the top five. Jeffrey Johnson, Donnie Lyons, Joey Stiers from the Nashville duel clash winner. He'll end up eighth. Jeff Sickles is ninth. Jacob Klinkhart, your top 10. Joey Doucette, Robert Richards, Chris Kynes, William Tiller, the first half of the field at the checkered flag.
Yeah, you look at the likes of Jonathan Pugh there in the 14th position. Sean Hamilton, the 89. We saw the difficulties the 89 machine was having there in that dual race there in the 15th position. Jonathan Wiley is going to finish 16th here tonight. Tyler Daniels, we saw him running up at the top of the field. Interested to hear what happened to Tyler Daniels, see what he can bring in store next week. Here we kick off the season. 18th position, though, is going to be the boss man himself, Brady LaBeouf. 19th is going to be Jose Luis Rivera. 20th is going to be Kerry Chbu in the 7. 21st is going to be Cody Sanderson in the 14. 22nd is going to be Lance Mill in the 21. 23rd, Taylor Peacock on the 81 machine. 24th, Raul Meza in the 37. And Derek Kilgore in the 11 will round out our 25 truck field there in dual race number one.
And there were 3 Surf Pro caution flags in this race at the end of duel number one. When it's all said and done, again, the driver taking the win of Adam Newton. And by the way, I want to say thank you to special driver guest analyst Adam Newbert for Sick With It Motorsports, our defending champion of the Sim Racer Hub's NASCAR Truck Series, and Brandon Broadfoot for, let me make sure I get it right this time, 979 Race, joining us as well in the booth. He's William Tiller. I'm Wesley Outland. We've got another great guest panel two in the box for Duel 2. We're going to be joined by a former broadcaster of this Monday night series, now racing. I call him our Parker Kligerman of NASRA. It's, of course, Gore, Virginia's Tyler Dittmer. He will be joining us in the broadcast as well as Joey Doucette, who kind of I thought was going to be the guy to win the race in Duel 1, fell back. We'll get his thoughts as driver guest analyst in Duel number 2. Of course, awesome work by Adam Flieger. We're taking a break. We take an extended break. We reset and Duel 2 from Daytona when we return to the NASRA 360 Racing Network. tired, man. Welcome back to coverage from Daytona, the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series, and the duels of the Twin 75s on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. I'm Wesley Outland, William Tiller alongside, and joining us as driver guest broadcast analyst number 3 for Duel 2 from Gore, Virginia, former play-by-play man for the Monday Night Series, Tyler Dittmer. Tyler, your take of Duel number 1. Slim pickings coming up short there, brother.
Yeah, just hard racing at the end. You get frustrated and you try to make the best you can of the situation. People are upset. That's Daytona. Especially here in iRacing, everyone gets upset at the end of these things because they turn into a wreck fest. But now solid second place finish, get some playoff points. I don't like these types of races. Don't like racing these types of races especially. But glad to be in the booth and hopefully can give you guys an idea of what these drivers were thinking because a lot of us were thinking a lot of different things during these races.
By the way, 0.05 seconds. I believe we're watching some of the shenanigans of practice going on as it's about to expire. You don't qualify. You've already qualified, if you will, before the duel, before the clash last Monday night, if you will. Remember how crazy caution-filled that was, Tyler. What do you think we'll see in Duel 2? They always say what you saw in Duel 1 will be the opposite of Duel 2. I'm going to make a bold prediction here, and I think we're going to see probably the same.
Yeah, no, I think you got some guys in here who are way more aggressive on some of these super speedways. Guys like I think Brandon Broadfoot is in this duel, so he's a very aggressive super speedway racer. You have other guys, not tons of super aggressive drivers. You could see the Highline Racing team, since there's 4 of them in this one. I was the only guy in duel number 1. Those guys could work together, maybe try and control this. Justin Lumpkin, Adam Newbert too for swim. So I think we'll see some slightly aggressive racing, but I think we'll actually see this one calm down a little bit.
We have now 2 former driver analysts of NASRA. Obviously, I got to give you credit, William Tiller, where it's due. You ran a road course race here at Daytona, and no matter what they'll say, it was still a top 10 finish. No matter how many cars, it was still a top 10 finish.
Yeah. Have yet to get into the cars since then. Maybe I shouldn't have started with the Xfinity car as my first ever car to drive, but here tonight we're in for a great field, and I think Tyler just touched on it here. This field of drivers here in dual race number 2 maybe doesn't have the heavyweights as dual race number 1, Wesley, but a great field of drivers here to give it a go here in this late race. And what Tyler just touched on here, these drivers may have watched that broadcast there, watched dual race number 1, watched not what to do or maybe what to do here in this race.
Yeah, what's the old cliche, Tyler? Don't do as I do as I say, for sure. So.
Yeah, especially with some of these guys. Some people are going to be really, really butthurt about that first duel. I think you're going to see guys maybe take some lessons from that first duel here and calm down a little bit. But I think I told you, Will, on Twitter, and you, Wesley, as well. I was going to try and make it exciting, and at least that finish was pretty exciting. So I think I lived up on my end of the bargain.
That you did, no doubt about it. And by the way, I just want to emphasize on this as well. What made the decision for you to step out of the broadcast booth and going to focus more kind of on the racing side of things? Did you miss racing that much?
Yeah, I did. No, I needed a change, I guess, of scenery. I love the Friday night series, still run there part-time, but Monday nights was just easier for me, and it's still not super easy running full-time with my schedule, but absolutely love racing, and I'll figure out a way to get back in the booth because it was a blast, and working with guys like you and Will was just absolutely the best part of the job.
Well, you're now a driver analyst, okay? I never thought I'd give you that title, broadcast driver analyst, but obviously you strap in for the first half, and I think if Joey Doucette is calmed down, I'm understanding there's a little frustration, William, after your race. William, you were telling us after duel number 1.
Yeah, he's upset with me about, I guess, the block I put on Jacob Klinkart coming to the white. I thought I came.
Oh, he's mad at you.
Yeah, he's mad at me, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's kind of funny. He thought my block on Jacob on the outside coming to the white was late. I'm pretty sure Jacob hit me in the rear, and then he got loose because Joey was running him over from behind. So, not really sure what he saw there, but I guess we'll argue over it later. But no, it is what it is. People are frustrated how these races end, and I've been on the receiving end of it a million times, and it's nice to be on the other side of it for once. But I get peppers for that.
I get the idea, William and Tyler, that obviously we would have been in the booth for a long time, and we've called a lot of iRacing broadcasts or even real-life events. And I've said this wholeheartedly. It's one thing to start tearing each other's cars up right out of the gate. It's another thing when you're trying, Tyler, to get down to the end, and something like that happens.
Yeah, we talk about patience being important all the time, but last 5 laps you got to go for it here in these races. It's hard to work through the pack. Hopefully we'll get the grid lined up here soon and we'll go racing. But I think you're gonna see these guys be a little more patient here early on, and then you're gonna see them race really hard in the last 10 laps. The way that our cautions fell, pitch strategy didn't matter, but if we go green flag race in the first 20 laps, you're gonna see these guys have to get gas. It's about a 19 lap tank.
All right. Again, we're back at virtual Daytona. He's, of course, Tyler Dittmer. William Tyler is here, and we'll have our second guest join us, Joey Doucette, at lap number 13. Trucks are on the track, and we're getting the field set up now for the Twin 25s or the Twin 75s race number 2. Andrew McGonigal and Chris Blanchard. Right now looking to be on the front row, and I guess they're still making practice laps around the Speedway still. There's still I hope this warm-up ain't 40 minutes.
It's not. I just got word the drivers meeting just ended. They're about to, I think, advance the session here shortly.
There you go. All right. So, William, what do you think we'll see different or the same in duel number 2 like we saw in duel 1?
Yeah, and I think that Tyler touched on it there. The aggression in dual race number 2 might not be there, and not the same style of drivers, but still some diamonds in the rough. Let's say we got the likes of Chris Blanchard in the 9 right there. We got the likes of Justin Lumpkin in the 18, Hunter Parsons right there. Of course, last year's defending champion Adam Newbert's in this race. Justin White's in this race as well. Ron Hunter is always competitive in that 30 machine. Jason Morales, so Brandon Broadfoot in that 22. Steve Barnett in the 42 as well, and then a mix of some new names in here, Wesley. So I really think this is going to be one of those getting to know one another here in these first couple laps, and then everything's just going to break loose towards the end.
All right, we'll see how, if anything, all this transpires as we're watching all these drivers working their way around the high banks at the Virtual World Center of Racing, getting themselves in those final laps, if you will, before we do officially get ready to prepare. Tyler, going to be a totally different race, am I right, tonight than compared for next Monday, as my colleague William Tiller said. Tonight's fun night. Next week it's serious.
Yeah, tonight is definitely fun. There's still some money involved. We all pay some entry fees, so there'll be payouts. I just get word from Brady that they're a minute and a half from starting the gridding. The gridding is a short grid tonight. It's only a minute long, so should be rolling off here in about 3 minutes time. Should be a lot of fun, Wesley. But I think next week is the big one. Everyone wants to win next week more than winning this week, because that gets you, playoff points, gets you closer to the playoffs and everything like that. So, bigger money involved next week too.
Yeah, it should be a fun one again, as all these drivers trying to make those final laps on course before we do get them ready to go for duel number 2. Of course, McGonigal and Blanchard looking like they're going to be on the front row. And again, man, how about this, William? 60 drivers, or at least 60 drivers, attempted to qualify last Monday night before the clash, and in an attempt to be in this race here tonight at Daytona for the duels.
No, and I think this just goes to show what NASR's been doing here, Wesley, between the Friday night series and this Monday night series. The average field is about 25 to 30 trucks. Here now in week number 1, we have 60 drivers trying to make this field for next Monday night's race. I think this is just amazing. The talent level is just getting better and better week after week, season after season, Wesley. So as exciting as season number 1 was here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, I think season 2 is going to be even better.
And by the way, don't forget also, tomorrow night will be the next round of what is the Poets Paupers Late Model Stock Series. I know they were scheduled to be at South Boston. That race was ran, but it wasn't broadcasted. Tomorrow night we're going to be at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Stafford coming up on the 23rd. And don't forget on May 30th, that's going to be a $200 to win all-star race. That's going to be pretty exciting, Tyler Dittmer, at Nashville for an all-star race. 200 laps. Correction, 300 laps. $200 to win, winner take all.
Yeah, I may show up for that one. That's a pretty enticing prize pot. I know there's another special event from Nazareth coming in the works. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it yet, but there'll be another big money event here in the coming weeks. Maybe in a different car we haven't seen yet in any of the Nazareth leagues.
All right. Well, that's coming up very, very soon for sure. Tyler Dittmer joining us in the booth, finished in second in duel number 1. Of course, Adam Newton getting the first duel. He'll put himself on the front row. Hey, nothing wrong with Silver, though, right? I mean, you're going to be, starting third?
Yeah.
You're starting third.
Fifth. Front row is locked from last week. Sorry, my bad, Wesley. I'll be starting 5th, so 3rd on the inside lane. Should be a lot of fun. I'll probably drop to the back early though. I don't like these races, and my strategy is generally not race for stage points, sit in the back, and then I'll get all my stage points and other points at the intermediate tracks where I'm really comfortable and can outrun a lot of these guys.
So basically, William and Tyler, no matter what happens, Tyler Daniels and Andrew McGronigal are on the front row for the race next Monday night. Of course, by virtue of being the fast qualifiers in the front row, kind of like the real Daytona 500 qualifying field is set. Then you got the duels that are going on right now. And, of course, duel 1 going to Adam Newton. He will fire off 3rd. The outside lane of row 2 will be determined for 4th in this race coming up, and then you will start again in that 5th position.
Yes, sir. It should be a lot of fun. But, yeah, I'm kind of just looking beyond next week a little bit and seeing what the rest of the schedule's like. I don't even know. I haven't even looked at the season-long schedule yet, but if you guys have any insights, please let me know.
I believe the schedule is posted. Am I right? On the NASCAR social media, I believe.
Yeah.
William, right?
Yeah, what I'm looking at was from actually posted on Star Wars Day. Was May the 4th. Was Daytona's the first week, and then we go to Nashville the second week, Kansas 3rd week, Charlotte Roval the 4th week, and then the 5th week of the season we head to Richmond.
Going all the way till mid-October, it looks like the championship will be at Auto Club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. I love the honestly, those first 5 tracks are great tracks for me. I love road course racing. National Super Speedway I've won at a road course in Nazareth. Kansas is a fun 1.5 miles, and Richmond's a great track. So I actually like the opening part of the schedule. Should be a lot of fun. Very, very diverse track schedule though, looking at that, guys.
Yeah, racing again fires up next Monday night, I'm sorry, with the exception of the duels tonight and the clash last week. You got week 1 of the points. They'll go for about 14 weeks straight, excluding 1 week for the All-Star race in July 31st. And then we go to Labor Day, and September 4th will be the Sweet 20 for the playoffs. And then, of course, the champion will be decided in a championship 6, not final 4. William Tiller and 6 drivers will battle for the championship finale. That'll be at Auto Club on Monday, October the 23rd.
I cannot wait for that. Wesley, a long time to go before that, though. A lot of storylines to be formed until that time. But it looks like we're officially ready to kick off dual race number 2 here tonight after that exciting finish there in dual race number 1. Let's kick it off here tonight. Wesley starting off first here tonight. It's going to be Chris Blanchard in that 9 machine. Rolling off second, it's going to be Ed Osborne in that 28. Rolling off third, a newbie here in this series, Noah Willis in the 96 machine will roll off third. Fourth, it's going to be Scott Griffin in the 44. Fifth, it's going to be a man that would joined us there in dual race number 1, Brett Broadfoot in that 22 machine. Rolling off 6 here tonight is Adam Cantwell in the 10. 7th is going to be Dane Hagan in the 39. 8th is going to be Jason Morales in the 5. 9th is going to be Brandon Chu in the 51 machine. And rounding out our top 10 is going to be Andrew McGonigal in the 94.
Andrew McGronigal again, by the way, he'll be on the outside of the front row along with Tyler Daniels for the big race at Daytona next week by virtual qualifying. Steve Barnett will be 11th. Zach Hartwig is 12th. The row number 6. Row 7 will as the scoring ticker needs to go up. There you go. Thank you. Row 7, Ron Hunter in the 30, James Morris in the 47. Then it's going to be Torrey Thompson, Curtis Rogers on row number 8. Row 9, Ryan Twinman as well. Twinham as Justin White. Hunter Parsons and Adam Newbert, one of our guest analysts of duel number 1, of course, defending champion. He'll fire off 20th for swim. Another swim driver, Justin Lumpkin, the 18. Brady LaBeouf, Louisiana, number 24, will be 22nd. And I think that is the rest of the lineup here, as 26 drivers were in duel number 1. Of the 30 entrants, 22 of 30 attempting here in duel number 2. Tyler, that's still not bad, though.
No, that's a great field to start the year, and 48 drivers, that is, between the two duels. We did have 60 entrants say they were interested in starting these this week, but still only having 48 make the field big field, and some guys are not going to be racing next week at Daytona, because I believe we're capping the field at 43. So
That's right.
I know all the charter drivers are guaranteed entry next week, but if one of those charter guys can't make it, all these part-timers are racing for spots in the big field next week.
Obviously, if you have a charter, kind of like NASCAR, if you will, if you have a charter, you're guaranteed to always be able to start the race, basically.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
good.
sir.
So, field getting ready to, I believe, get one more preliminary lap under caution, just like in the first race. They'll get ready for the 25-lapper. I like the fact, William Tiller, that you got a driver like Andrew McGronigle. He's starting in the 10th position. He's not in the front. Hey, guys, have at it. And, whatever happens to him, he could fall back, he could come to the front, try to win the duel. But if not, I would just use this, if you will, as a practice session as the field is coming to the line and they're going to get the green flag. Okay, aren't we still under caution? I think we are. So they're still going to make one more lap here before we get ready to turn them loose. And if you will, you got to use this as a practice session. If you decide to fall back, if you decide to go to the front, that's your decision. And again, whatever happens to you tonight, you're starting on the outside of the front row, as well as Tyler Daniels did in Duel 1.
Absolutely here, and Andrew McGonigal in the 94 machine. It's been a while since we've seen Andrew in the mix in these races. Again, we're being joined by Tyler Dittmer, a driver there in dual race number 1. My name is William Tiller, Wesley Allen here. And Wesley, before we go green in this race, it looks like we're just getting there. I do want to shout out a special congratulations to our colleague, Tyler Dittmer here, who got married in the time that he switched over from a broadcaster to a driver. So big congratulations to Tyler there.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that was last weekend, or no, 2 weekends ago now. Wow, it's been a while since I've been here with you guys.
Marriage does that to you after a while,
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Really excited. My wife and I were down in South Carolina, but yeah, it was super fun. Really enjoyed the whole party that involved. But now we're about ready to go racing here. Excited to see what a lot of these drivers have. I have not raced with a bunch of these guys that are exclusive to the Monday Night Series. So I'm excited to see from a booth-ish perspective how these guys handle here.
All right. Well, thank you very much again, and congratulations to you guys. Again, getting married and all of your endeavors to come. We're ready now for the green flag. Sim Racer Hub Duel 2 underway. You have a race at 75 miles, 25 laps, and Blanchard, McGronigle got a battle side by side up the banking there. William into turn number 1.
Yeah, right now Andrew McGonigal on the inside, Chris Blanchard on the outside right there. The 9 machine coming in with a lot of confidence. He's feeling himself there in the Friday Night Series. We already have contact, though, on the low side positions. Looks like that was a bump for 10th there as we're down the backstretch.
Yeah, it looked like the inside lane there got stacked up, Will and Wesley, and everyone kind of bailing out there, and that got Hunter Parsons stacked up there. I think Justin White hit him in the rear, and that got them all bent out of shape. But they're reorganized now. It's seeing they're staying 2 by 2, not getting single file. They're going to race hard here, William.
Yeah, looky here, man. What a save by Blanchard down to the bottom of the racetrack. McGronigle on the inside as well. All this action going on with Hartwick and Morris all fighting for that spot as they come to the line. 1 lap in, and it's Blanchard, and the Blanchard's towing forward. leading the opening lap here at Daytona. Yes, you see the big infield grass. We're underway, and the opening lap sent into the bottom. Meg Ronigal giving a push there, Tiller, trying to help get around Hartwick and company off too.
Yeah, trying to get a push on that low side, a little bit of separation already here down the backstretch. We see some newcomers here. You see Zach Hartwick and James Morris up there working, of course, the 47 machine, and not a newcomer here in Nazareth. Definitely trying to work with some new guys there on the top side lane, seeing what they can build. Justin Lumpkins in the mix as well in the 18. He's the third car on that top side lane as we come off of 4, still side by side.
Yeah, Justin Lumpkin's a guy with a lot of experience here. He's going to kind of sit and see how these front two, but you know what he's doing that you didn't see a lot of guys in Duel number 1 do? That third truck in line cannot be on the back bumper of that second truck in line in their lane, because that second truck is locked onto that front truck. And if that third truck starts pushing that second truck, that's going to stack him up and it's going to spit that second truck out.
Yeah, all of this happening now as the leaders work their way single file down to the bottom of the double yellow line to the inside of the racetrack. Nobody breaking out of line yet. Now the outside lane will start to come into formation again with a little help by the 47. That's Morris now trying to get something organized on the top with Lumpkin and company. All these drivers start finding a way to weasel their way through the corner of the turn, trying to now make a move on the leaders. Can't get him there yet. Got him loose for just a moment was Hartwick, with Morris giving him a little shot to the rear in the tailgate. They hold it together through the tri-oval, and we have now 3 on the board.
Yeah, as we have fans of Misfit Motorsports watching along with us here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network on YouTube. We got a great shot of one of their drivers right there. Still, Chris Blanchard leads us around the corner in that 9 machine. He's got some good help behind him there in the 94. And also somebody sneaking up. There's Adam Cantwell in that 10. Watch out here at Daytona.
Yeah, these guys are stacking up a lot on that inside line, and that's because that third truck in line, that 10 machine, he's getting up to those front two, but he's backing off a little too much, and it's causing that accordion effect you're seeing on the bottom lane. The second lane spaced out a little bit better, but they just keep falling apart. Guys keep bailing on that line, Wesley. We should see if that line can get more organized and stay more committed.
I find it very impressive right now as we're in the opening 3-4 laps of this race where everybody is just kind of riding and driving. We did have a couple of shots to the back of some tailgates in the front of the pack, but then they kind of balance themselves out. I think they know they don't want to bring out a serve pro caution here very quickly, William Tiller. They want to knock some laps off here, which is very different than what we saw at the beginning of Duel 1.
Yeah, it just goes off of what Tyler was mentioning there. You know, in Duel Race number 1, you saw a lot more 2x2 racing, a lot more drafts on the high side and low side. Right now, though, we have that Nokia snake line building up there on the low side. A long, long line of trucks all the way down to about the 10th or 11th position here, Wesley. Far stretch what we saw there at Duel Race number 1.
Yeah, I think this is a lesson, though, Wesley and Will, like you were talking about. We saw Duel number 1, they were side drafting aggressive, and that caused that first huge wreck there entering turn 3. Outside lane hasn't been that aggressive, Wesley. They've been very calm, very tame, not aggressively side drafting. It has led to them falling back, though.
Yeah, I think it's good racing right now where they're just kind of finding that rhythm, if you will, working around the racetrack. Obviously gets Blanchard the leader, Meg Ronigal, who will be on the outside of the front row at Daytona next Monday night for the big race alongside Tyler Daniels. When we go green next Monday night for the big race, again, Cantwell and Twayman all right there in the top 5 Twinham, along with White. There's the White machine, Justin White, the 28 to 22. That's Osborne and Broadfoot, who we had in the broadcast booth earlier in Duel 1. All these guys just kind of being patient, not being aggressive, trying to, if you will, William, just get themselves in that right line to start making a push. We still got under 20 to go.
Yeah, right now as we're around the corner, I think the next thing to integrate into these NASRA broadcasts is maybe a grid walk to check out all these new paint schemes these drivers are rocking here this year. Some new numbers, some new paint schemes, including Adam Newbert in that 4 machine. We're used to seeing him in that blue gray. Now he's rocking an all-red championship, looking like Tiger Woods out here on Daytona down into 3 right now. A lot of new paint schemes, a lot of new numbers, a lot of new teams this year, Wesley.
There's Adam Newbert right there, the bright red machine. DSR Electric for Swim, the defending champion. Lumpkin right there behind him. Couple of teammates. I got to ask you this question, Tyler. Is it good to have teammates? Obviously, yes. That's a question I'm going to answer myself. But what are they going to do to help you out here in the early going, much less try to get there to help you at the end?
Well, I wouldn't know. None of my teammates were in duel number 1, Wesley. I was by myself. My teammates, Hunter Parsons, Steve Barnett, Jason Morales, all in this duel with Chris Blanchard, I believe, as well on our team. They're all here in duel number 2 here, and Blanchard's leading the way, but the other guys haven't really found each other. I believe Morales and Barnett are working together, but you saw Lumpkin and Newbert working together at the back of the pack. They're just staying as close together with each other as possible because they can tandem up to the rear end of this pack. I think that's what Morales and Barnett are doing. It's nice to have them at super speedways. You can learn a few things off them at intermediates and stuff, but really the biggest help they are is for super speedways. You guys can pit by yourself or with your team only and not lose a ton of ground. And you learn some tips and tricks from others that are better at certain tracks.
All this going on.
Watch out!
One in the fence.
Oh,
Trouble.
no!
Foot turned, and some other drivers.
Big wreck.
White, the 2. Justin White involved. It all started with Broadfoot, White, some others. The 47 turned. James Morris, and caution. Serve Pro caution number 1 called over the Speedway here. As we'll take a look at the on the pole instant replay, and well, so much for minding your P's and Q's. Man, what a bad luck for one of our driver analysts of race 1. I don't know where it all went wrong. I know Morris was in the mix. I know that obviously Brandon Broadfoot was around there. What in the world happened now, William Tiller, to trigger our first serve pro caution in duel number 2?
Yeah, I was watching this kind of build up there. James was getting stuck on the top side, was making him very, very squirrely, but it also made him hard on the top side there to where he wasn't moving off his line. And it looked like there's the 22 of Brandon Broadfoot that makes contact with him there on the top side lane. And then it collects, of course, Justin White right there. Some other drivers just going to get the reciprocal effect of this. Justin White in the 2 is going to suffer right there. There's James Morris on the top side, but you're going to watch James. He's going to be solid in that line, and he's really just going to be just solid, right? You see him a little bit sideways there on the top side, but you're going to watch Brandon Broadfoot in the 22 start to drift up and make contact with James.
Yeah, Morris is that green, teal green and yellow.
Oh, there's no contact.
No contact.
Oh,
he got up in the
man.
fence, and then all of a sudden Broadfoot hooks the 2 of White, and around goes those machines, and then the 15 bounces off of the Broadfoot machine, and then oh man, then this White back into the wall again, nose first, and that's a tough break there, Tyler.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Tyler, too. That's a little bit of that net code there. How frustrating is that for a driver?
It's extremely frustrating. It looked like Morris, there may have even been netcode between Morris and Broadfoot, because you saw Morris get sideways and come down a little bit, and then you saw it looked like the front end of Broadfoot's truck gets kind of sent down. I don't know if he was afraid of getting hit, so he just turned left instinctually. That may have been it. And when he does that, he comes down and just completely collects White. White is the victim there. Nowhere to go for him. He thinks he's fine, and the next thing you know, he's facing the outside wall head on. That's rough for Justin White. Morris, I think he got spit out of line by the 65. I don't know who that is.
It makes me wonder, guys. And by the way, everybody is on pit lane now. Everybody from besides the caution coming down onto the pit lane here on lap number 10 for service. And again, it makes me wonder. We saw what happened to Morris, and he bounced off the wall, and then he got around Broadfoot. And William Tiller, I think that scared Brandon Broadfoot. I think Brandon might have thought that he might have been coming down on him, down to the inside, hit the driver's side, passenger right, and he made that quick evasive move, and then he tags into the back of the left rear or the right rear of the 2 of White, and nowhere to go. And by the way, that caution is brought to you by ServPro, restoring homes affected by fire, water, mold, or even hurricanes like it had never happened. That's again ServPro. A big thanks to them being our caution sponsor of the race. So, well, we reset again here, and I mean, got to give them props, Tyler. First 10 laps were caution-free.
No, yeah, and actually, really, this is a great time because we can segue over. I'll hop out of the booth here shortly. Actually, I think we should do it during the caution. Be the best time to do it. We can bring in Joey Doucette to fill in for the rest of the night with you guys.
I just don't want you guys to have any. I was trying to find a way to bring you guys in without any interaction of controversy, because I know you said
we've talked it over already a little bit in the driver's chat. I think he just saw things that he wasn't sure what he saw, and then him and I talked it out. We're all good to go now. I think we're pretty squared away. We realized that The incident wasn't really any one of our fault, just kind of unfortunate timing. But Joey, you're here now. I think you and I have figured out what we saw differently on that last lap.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Y'all are friends, Joey. We can bring you in the booth. Calm. Are you okay?
I'm calm. I'm good.
Yeah, I totally get your frustrations, Joey. That was a late race incident. Things kind of got chaotic there, and I thought I made the block plenty of time, but I guess the guy pushing Jacob didn't realize I was in front of him and just ran him over.
There's 2 Joeys this year, so if one gets blamed, then I know it's not me.
All good. But I want to say it's been a pleasure, Will and Wesley, working with you guys again. I've enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a great race and have fun in the booth, Joey.
You are welcome back anytime,
sir.
Tyler Dittmer. Thank you, buddy. Again, that's Tyler Dittmer, and now joining us from the island of misfit toys, if you will. It's going to be the driver of the number 16. Always great catching up with him. The NRE Power Systems Misfit Motorsports number 16, Joey Doucette. Joey, we were a little reluctant on bringing you in the broadcast, but I'm glad cooler heads prevailed.
Yeah, I mean, I saw something, and then we just talked about it. I mean, that's what we got to do. We can't just argue back and forth, and you're right, he's right, But we looked over it, we talked it out. I was a little upset, thought it was late, but I mean, all is good, and we move on to next week at Daytona.
All right, Adam Flieger, move that logo out of the way. That'll wrap up a Serve Pro Caution. Fire and Water Cleanup and Restoration. And that is the end of the first caution. We're going back to the green flag. Ready just before halfway in duel number 2. Blanchard gets a jump on the restart. He'll hang to the inside of the racetrack. Meg Ronigal, Twinham, Osborne, Rogers are door-to-door there. William back into turn number 1.
Yeah, side by side into the apex of 1 and 2 right now. Brian Broadfoot on the low side. He's got right there. Good push from the back right there. High side though, Wesley only 2 trucks as we come off of 2. Now more trucks join the party on the top side.
Couple of trucks side by side battling do-si-do with each other as they work down the super stretch. They'll climb the 24 degrees of banking up to the 3rd turn. Meg Ronigal up on the outside. He'll get a push from Osborne. Osborne now ducks back in line. He'll now give a shot to Blanchard. Onto the bottom of the speedway is Rogers. All these drivers somehow holding it together. Oh, I'll tell you what, Joey, it's getting fierce here on the restart at halfway.
Yes, it is, and Ed and Chris have been racing together, been drafting together. This tandem is going to be hard to beat. But no, this is great racing side by side. If we can keep it green, it's going to be a good race to the finish.
Working their way off the corner of the back stretch. That's Twinham and that orange or the yellow and black number 8 machine. Twinham up on the outside. He gives a punt to the tailgate of Meg Ronigal on the outside lane. Also looking to pounce is going to be Hunter Parsons in the 15. Down to the inside. And what a move from the top to the bottom. Meg Ronigal throws the block on Blanchard into turn 3.
McGonigal is hunting here today. Oh, watch out. We got a truck in the danger zone lane as McGonigal goes to the top side on 4. Watch out. Keep it clean. No, it's not clean. Not clean. Wreck off of 4.
One truck spins down to the bottom of the apron. That's going to be truck number 42.
Barnett.
And somehow Barnett is going to be the only driver that brings us a caution out now. I thought somehow he was going to try to keep going, but Steve Barnett triggers the yellow flag, and his Toyota now comes down to the pit lane damaged for another Serve Pro caution here on lap number 14. My goodness, watch this. And Joey, you saw this kind of starting to get out of hand here. Might need to back up a little bit more, if you will, Adam Flieger. Oh, my, man. This is, it all just come
like
unglued
got
here.
A little bit loose, slid up and hit Morales.
Watch it now right here. This is probably the best time. Oh, no, well, that's from the previous wreck, actually. Now you're called back up. Here we go for the restart. Into the tri-oval. There you go. And as a driver, if you will, Joey, what are we seeing here?
To me, it looks like he just got a little bit loose and, slid up to Morales. Just hard racing. But it does look like there was a little bit of a net code there. And
wow, that's the third time tonight, William. Third or fourth time we've seen net code cause cautions.
That's very unfortunate here, especially to kick off this Speed Weeks, Joey. You know, we were just talking to Tyler about how frustrating that is. What can you do as a driver in that situation? Of course, both of you are going to be a little upset that your nights might be over, but it's a net code that caused that accident. So it's kind of like a 50-50, I guess.
Yeah, it's a 50-50. You can't get mad at the guy. It's just a server thing. We know the consequences of side drafting. I did it the first duel, and I'm glad that we didn't do netcode because I was riding them pretty hard there. But it happens. It just depends on what your connectivity is to the server, and that's what it really boils down to.
That's crazy. And on board again, looking at the front of Jason Morella's machine, the Toyota able to scamper away. So was also Morris. We got drivers in the back of the top 10 coming to the pit lane. Of course, Jason Morellas, Torrey Thompson, Adam Cantwell, Scott Griffin, I believe. Some of these drivers, James Morris, Brandon Broadfoot, all coming in for service well. This did not go like we planned, as this brings us out another caution flag presented by Serve Pro, Fire and Water, Cleanup and Restoration, Serve Pro. And now Ryan Twinham, if you will, William Tiller is the new leader.
Yeah, he's a rookie in the field. I don't know much about Ryan, another driver that was in the mix last season, the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, but there you go, right there, racing out of Chicago. We'll get to know him this season. We're wondering to know if he's a White Sox or Cubs fan or neither there, Wesley. Here as we're watching it right now, the 8 machine bringing the 8 back into the mix. And, Joey, as we have you into the booth here, we're watching a rookie lead this pack here tonight. You're coming in with a new team this season, Misfit Motorsports. Tell us a little bit about that team and what's your anticipation for the season as we're under caution.
It's a learning curve for us. Adam Cantwell came back after a hiatus. Ed and I have been racing for years. Me and Taylor, we've been racing in Nazareth for about 3-4 years now. Ed, same thing. And then we got Zach. So we all started this. It was like Chris started the team back in another series. And they were the only 2 drivers. It was Ed and Chris. And nobody wanted to team with him. And he was thinking, Island of Misfits Toys. So Misfits Motorsports. So we brought it over to Monday nights and had one of the original owners contact me and say, hey, we're going to start it back up and I want you to lead this team. But we just want to have good finishes throughout the season, run clean, and run for that team championship and run for the drivers championship. But all in all, it's just try to be consistent, trying to get some of these other guys that are on the team a little bit better and go from there.
Joey, and as you watch these dual races, of course you race in dual race number 1, you're a spectator here in dual race number 2. Do you feel like maybe your team has an advantage knowing each other, knowing the experience, seeing we have a lot of rookies this year?
Yes, and I like that. A lot of people came out. It was different. It's different to have different drivers instead of racing the same people in different nights of the same series. So these guys coming out and showing what they have, they've been picked up for a reason. So they must race with somebody else in a different league, or they just came out knowing the fact that Nazareth is a place to be. And they tried their hand, got picked up by a team, and now look, this rookie's Ryan is leading the show right now with 15 to go.
No, less than that, my friend.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, we're under 10 remaining. Actually, so it's gonna be.
He's in a prime spot right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty wild for sure. We're joined by again from the Misfit Motorsports team, Joey Doucette. Thanks again to Tyler Dittmer joining us in the first half of the race, and then Duel 2, where they just settled it out here as the field comes back to the green flag. Adam, that wraps up. I'm proud of you. That wraps up another Serve Pro caution. And yeah, there you go, Joey. That answers your question. You got a 7-lap shootout as they roar back up the bank into turn number 1.
And Chris is holding that top side with Ed right behind it. Hunter's a good pusher, sometimes aggressive, but he's going. Ed and Chris again. That's a team owner, Chris, and Ed as a participant of this team. He's just going to follow Chris and hopefully get these guys a 1-2 finish.
You check up on the low side lane right now, though. On the backstretch, you see Ryan doesn't like that in 8. Machine's going to lose some speed. Chris going to have the momentum into 3 and 4, back side by side right now. Very, very close there, Wesley. They almost went door to door as we're off of 4.
Yeah, somehow or another they save it as they work their way off of turn 4 to the tri-oval. Coming to the line, it'll be 6 laps to go. Twinham, the yellow and black number 8. Blanchard in the number 9. Ironically, in the numerical order, they're right there as well. Osborne ready to make a move on the outside. He's got help with Rogers behind him. Meanwhile, Parsons is going to carry Meg Ronicle and others down to the bottom as they work out of turn number 2.
See McGronigal, though, in the 94 drift up just a little bit. Felt that side draft coming from the top side lane. Things getting a little squirrely, though, here down the back stretch. You see drivers trying to find those air bubbles, Wesley, is now we're down to 3.
I got to ask you this question, Joey. When do you kind of ride teammates, even for that matter? When do they become foes and it's out for themselves?
I don't think it happens here. They're going to do the best they can, but if Ed wants to push it, I'd give it the lap 2 to go and try to make a move. But it's going to be very difficult because they are close friends, and I think Ed's going to stick with them.
And we'll watch how all this transpires as Twinham down to the inside. He's got some help from Parsons on the bottom for the Hunter Performance entry. Down up on the outside lane, Blanchard now getting himself in position is Osborne. Osborne and Parsons right there trying to make a run now. Twinham falling back. Blanchard to the lead. Parsons with a shot to Twinham into turn number 3, getting around the 28 of Osborne into the 3rd and 4th turn, and 4 to go at the line now, Will.
Yeah, 4 to go right now. Chris Blanchard's in the penthouse position as he takes the field off of 4. Looks like the low side has been the fast lane all night long. He'll take that 4 to go down to corner number 1.
Man, what a save. Hold it together, guys, as they dive off into the corner down into turn number 1 and 2. Again, up the speedway. Blanchard now on the inside. He is the leader. Twinham now back to the inside for second. McGronigal now battles Parsons right there with each other. You got to wonder if we're going to start to see a bump draft or something go wrong here, Joey, as they work into turn 3. Look at the outside lane. Push Parsons to the front.
Ed's a great pusher. Again, he runs with Hunter a lot. Oh, caution here.
Caution's out. Caution's out with 4 laps to go. Caution's out.
Oh, we got problems. Noah Willis, his Toyota 96 in the grass. And, well, there you go.
Well, this is going to be interesting, folks.
This will bring up overtime.
Because I know when the first duel pitted, when we had that caution at lap 5, we didn't have a lot to go into overtime with. We would have had to pit if we went into multiple overtime. So we'll see what these guys do here.
Well, let's watch it. Noah Willis, that's the primer car, if you will. Lumpkin, Swim 18, Toyota. Yeah, drifts up in front of him. Good job by Morales to go to the outside. Somehow, William Tiller, Lumpkin got by without causing any damage to his truck, and Lanigan is Dane Hagan as well.
Yeah, and look at Noah Willis there in the 96 machine. Again, one of those rookies here in the field, trying to get those Goodyear Eagles rolling in the right direction. Not going to be a good night, but I feel like for a lot of these drivers, Wesley, it's been a learning experience. You know who to work with. I think Tyler touched on it as well when we spoke to him. Yeah, that's a move you're going to learn. Racing with Justin Lumpkin in the 18, you can't come down like that. 18 is going to hold his line. I think it's just a learning process for a lot of these new guys here in week number 1, or preference that as a preseason race, Wesley. But as we're joined up in the booth, of course, we've been joined by drivers all night long. We've got Joey Doucette in the booth with us here right now, the number 16 driver. But Wesley, I believe we also have another special guest up in the booth with us. The boss man himself, who was a Final 4 driver last season, is now joining us here for the conclusion of this race.
Yeah, Louisiana's Brady LaBeouf in the booth. Of course, he'll be in action at Daytona next week. And, well, Brady, your take of these races, pretty good, exciting duels, no doubt about it, here to set the stage for the big first points race in Season 2 next Monday night.
Absolutely. Man, it was exciting, though. You know, I was just joking with my teammates. I was like, guys, I wish we would have been in the second duel, because at first it seemed like it was a little bit more calmer than the first duel. But that's just how it goes. But overall, some great racing.
And again, this is the fourth caution flag, by the way, presented by Serve Pro Fire and Water Cleanup and Restoration. Serve Pro, proud sponsor of our caution for the NASRA Monday Night Sim Racer Hub Truck Series. And all right, Joey, I bring you back to the fold. Now it's time to not make friends anymore. Am I right?
Yes, there's no more friends here. You got to make your move here to within the next two laps or one lap to get coming out of 4 and get your spot where you want to be for the white flag, and then try to hold on from there. We'll see who works with who and see who comes out the winner.
Brady, when is too much ain't enough and too much is enough, and you might go too far when you're trying to get a victory here?
Well, I mean, right now it's you kind of look at these races and you kind of plan them out as best you can, but that never goes as planned. I mean, things happen. You can't predict the cautions when they fall, but it's definitely go time. You're going to be, if you're in the second row right now, you're going to be pushing as hard as you can. Ryan's going to be pushing, Ed's going to be pushing, Hunter and Chris. So you're hoping that the guy behind you at least gets you out in front, but you got to watch for that run. Typically here in Talladega, that outside lane gets a huge run coming off the outside turn 2, so you got to watch that. And just real quick, Wesley, I know you and I has been saying twin 'em, but Ryan told me it's twine 'em.
Twine
Oh, twine 'em. Okay, like Mark Twain.
Yeah. He said they get a little high I in there, high end, so twine 'em.
Well, we'll learn something there. Twine 'em, again, one of the new drivers on the NASRA Series. Thank you, Brady, for definitely getting that out there. Lights off for the pace truck. And, William, we're going to overtime. How many attempts at overtime do we get? And obviously, this is going to be interesting coming to the restart.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting indeed right here. Let's take a look at those details here. Green, white, checkered. Looking at 3 of those here tonight, Wesley. If it's anything like dual race number 1, if we get that white flag, the race is official, folks. So watch that race, the white flag, if we have any late race calamity.
So remember, they come to the white flag. Next flag will end the race, whether it is wreckers or checkers. And probably they will race back to the checkered flag, no doubt. We get a caution, another Serve Pro caution before the white flag. Then we'll go back for another Serve Pro caution. As that one wraps up, here they come, overtime. Ready in Daytona for Duel 2. To the line, green flag going back in the air. Blanchard, great jump on Parsons, and we're back underway. Brady, good form as everybody is quickly trying to throw the block on Meg Ronigal. He's got something working on the outside. He tags the wall, but he holds onto it and keeps it off the safer barrier. Oh, no, he doesn't!
Oh, my goodness. Huge wreck on 1 and 2, guys. This is a full booth up here. We're going to need that Serve Pro cleaning crew to clean up that mess. The 94 gets squeezed on the top side wall, and that just causes disaster for the rest of the field.
Meg Ronigal, Brian Chu, Scott Griffin, some of these trucks, if you will, Joey Doucette, in that calamity. And all I saw was Meg Ronigal trying to make something work on the top. Parsons said, no way, buddy. If anybody's going to make it work at the lead, I'm going to do it. And I think it made everybody check up from there behind him.
Yeah, it looked like it was just a big checkup, and the rookie there hit the wall and just came down and just took everybody.
Brady LaBeouf, if there's any inclination for Andrew Meg Ronigal, he at least knows he's on the front row for Daytona next Monday night.
Oh, that might have been a little netcode between the 4 that slid him up to the.
Oh, wow.
That's a hard hit.
So, replay one more time. We're thinking maybe for our 5th time tonight, we've seen netcode be a possibility here. Obviously, make no bones about it, though, Brady LaBeouf. Meg Ronigal all over the racetrack, up on the top of the outside safer barrier, came down. He did get into the machine of Griffin and Chu. The outcome of maybe something helped cause more than that, possibly, but he was trying to go for the win, hands down.
Yeah, it's a 9-points event. Everybody's trying to, get familiar with one another. We got a handful of guys that are new. haven't raced with these guys. There's 30 plus trucks. We got 61 guys on the entry list. Now a lot of those guys are part timers. So we do have 43 full timers with charters, but Andrew's just gotta kind of learn from that, and he'll be back next week and be on the front road outside pole. So he got some playoff points in the bank for that, but yeah, he'll learn from it.
All right, there's Twanum on pit lane right now, the driver of the number 8 machine, as we mentioned. And again, this brings out another, I believe we're up to 5 now, cautions. It's presented by Serve Pro. Fire, water cleanup, and restoration. Restoring homes affected by fire, water, mold, or even hurricanes, because yes, hurricane season is around the corner like it never even happened. Again, that's Serve Pro, title sponsor of our caution flags. And William Tyler, we've used it now for the 5th time tonight, 8 in total.
Yeah, I think Serve Pro is glad that they came on as an official sponsor here at Nazareth. Very, very excited to have them on board for this season. It gives us a little Serve Pro cleanup, a little for those cautions there, Wesley. We're kind of thinking of words to say during last season about all those calamities, those crashes we had. Now Serve Pro is going to be a wonderful sponsor here for this long season we have.
All right, we got 2 driver analysts up in the booth, including the boss of Nazareth, Brady LaBeouf from Louisiana, and of course the driver of Joey Doucette. All right, guys, what's the mindset now? Obviously, slim pickings. The truck count is very small than what it was at 20 plus. Now you're down to probably 5 or 7 drivers. You're going to have to battle for the win here. What do you do here as we get ready to go for the restart? Joey, I'll let you go first.
You got to get a good jump. If you don't get a good jump on these guys, you're just going to fall back. You're really not going to have enough time to get back to them. But yeah, you need that good jump and try to make your move right there and there. If you don't, I don't think you're going to pull up a winner though.
Brady LaBeouf.
Well, if I like being Chris Blanchard right now because I got a teammate for Highline Racing behind me, so I believe Hunter's going to stick with Chris, push him out, and then maybe fight for it on the white flag lap. But it's anybody's game. I mean, it's all about timing and where to predict. But if you made me pick a driver, I'm going with Chris.
Chris Blanchard. Right now, William, 1 to go at the line, coming to green. Who you got?
This is tough right here. You know, you got big names, you got new names. I gotta like my chances with Adam Newbert in that Ford machine. I think last year's champ here has been banged around this race. It was even the second to last truck on the racetrack, Wesley, for a minute right in front of Justin Lumpkin. So watch out for that 4 here at the end.
I'm going to be the wild card here in the mix, but kind of keep it in the love of the guys in the booth like we had with Tyler Dittmer. I think you kind of follow an idea, William, where I'm going. I'm going to go with Hunter Parsons. He's methodically stayed out of trouble. Yes, he did go to the outside to throw the block on Meg Ronigal because I think he tried to finally realize the outside lane's going to work. I think he's going to try to quickly get back up to the top, make a pass quickly on Curtis Rogers to get around Blanchard. My pick to win here in Duel 2, no doubt, as we wrap up our Serve Pro caution number 5, overtime 2. Coming up next is going to be Virginia's Hunter Parsons.
I pick Ed Osborne.
Ed Osborne. All right, Brady, who you going with?
Chris Blanchard.
Here we go.
Okay, so everybody has picked different people, which is perfect. I didn't have to say, nah, can't use that when someone already had it. So that works out perfectly. We're back to green. Serve Pro caution wrapped up. Green back out. Overtime number 2 underway. Blanchard, William Tiller. Great job on the restart. Blocking Parsons. Rogers, though, up on the outside. Here they go, starting to climb the bank in and making moves into 1 and 2.
Yeah, as Austin Powers once said, I got my mojo back, baby. As right now, Chris Blanchard, the 9's feeling that mojo off of 2 right now. All he needs to do is get that white flag, and this race is official. But he's got some competition there on the high side. A huge run from the 65 going down in the 3.
Now, Rogers was, I believe, Doucette's pick, and he said he's going with him. And right now, to the lead, Newbert now right there in the mix in second. Blanchard.
Oh, no!
Oh, trouble.
Oh, no!
Out. They're wrecking.
They all wreck off of 4. All the leaders are wrecking. Chris
Newbert.
Blanchard's going to come out of it unscathed, though. He's going to cross
Rogers.
the line as our race leader.
How in the world, Hunter? All these other drivers
Wow.
getting around. Almost the entire field has just been clobbered in that skirmish coming to the white
Just
out of turn
happened.
4. And by the way, guys, we never took the white flag. We got to do a third attempt at overtime.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Another Surf Pro caution. 9th time in the race, 6th in just duel number 2. And our third attempt at overtime coming up next. Third and final attempt, by the way. Watch this. Brady, what's going through your mind here? What are they thinking?
Oh man, you know, Curtis just kind of threw a late block there. Yeah, he probably thought he was cleared, but he wasn't.
That's Lumpkin upside down for swim. There's Parsons crash, might pick, go figure.
Oh, there's two cracks.
Dan Hagen. Then you've got another wreck here where Morales somehow misses the skirmish from the other truck on the bottom. You've got Adam Newbert spun and crashed. Wow. Joey, what's your thoughts on what we just saw, man? It all come unglued.
Unbelievable, just hard racing. Curtis made a late block there on Chris. There was another accident behind that made it a lot bigger than it was. Between, I think, Justin and somebody else. But man, my mind is blown right now.
Is that Twinham on the outside? I believe it is. Yeah, bouncing off the Ron Hunter truck, and there's Morales. Oh, wow. So this just shuffles up the entire rundown here. We're going to go to overtime again. By the way, we're working now lap number 31. This is supposed to be a 25-lap race. We're on lap 31. And this is on board with Justin Lumpkin, the Corinth, Mississippi driver. That's the purple-pink 18, if you will, DSR electric Toyota for swim right here up on the outside. Twinham behind him. And look, just, oh, my. I look at it again. And William, I think it's a bump draft going wrong when he was trying to make a move on the 10. He tried to make a move on Cantwell.
Yeah, two accidents that happened at once that had nothing to do with each other, and it just made it way bigger than what it was going to be.
I just can't believe this.
But
and
it's hard racing.
And William, we've used up all of our overtimes now. This is it.
Yeah, Wesley, this is the final overtime here. I don't think we've called the race where we used up all our overtime.
I don't think we ever done that either as well. By the way, we're going to go to overtime, third and final attempt, meaning if they come for the green flag, next flag ends the race, meaning if they come to the checker flag or the caution flag, white flag, or the finish, the race will be called if we have a caution before they come to the checker. So hopefully that does not happen. But Brady, how many trucks are left? What are we down to the final 4? 5?
Wow. Yeah, just it turned into a demolition derby real quick, Wesley.
Process of elimination, as they say, right?
The thing is, do they have enough gas? Do they have enough gas?
Oh, that's something we ain't even thought about. Wow, yeah.
When's the last time these guys pitted?
They pitted. What was it around, William? Lap 10, I think it was. 10 or 11, they come to the pits.
Because some of these guys haven't been there for a while.
Wesley, that they headed down early. We actually talked about that. A lot of the field headed down to see if they could probably stretch it to the end. So now that question is risen here in the third overtime.
That is going to be interesting here. All right, so with that said, that's going to wrap up our, if you will, another Surf Pro caution, fire and water cleanup and restoration, and the field will get ready for what will be the third. Yes, you heard me say it. Third and final attempt at overtime here tonight at, again, Daytona. And this all sets it up for what we'll see next week. No bones about it. You got to love it. I mean, I always enjoy Daytona, Talladega, and the new Atlanta as well. Just exciting racing. And we're going to no doubt be disappointed with. You're not going to be disappointed, but I think the finish that we got coming up, you thought race 1 was great. It was a good finish. Definitely up the ante. Race 2 said, hold my beer. Let's see what we can do. And they've put on a great one. Pace truck is in. Surf Pro caution will come to a wrap up. And we are going now to the third and final overtime here at Daytona. Morales on the jump of Newbert. Newbert, though, damage to the last caution. Back in the game. Twinham with a shot by Blanchard. 3, 4, 5 trucks. They'll battle it out, William, up the high banks into turn 1.
Yeah, still side by side on the racetrack right now. So keeping it clean here, Wesley. Remember, this is the third overtime with that caution flag waved. That's it.
You know what impresses me, Brady LaBeouf? You've got 7 trucks in this pack for the lead. Any of these guys can win the thing.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great finish.
Blanchard up the middle, flying like a hot dog through the bun, making a double cheeseburger to do, as now Dane Hagen will go with him and clears him to the outside. Blanchard now to the lead. Doucette, what a move.
Yeah, that's an amazing move by Chris. I was thinking about these damaged trucks, and I didn't think he's the least damaged, and he got to the front really quick.
White flag, this is it. 1 to go, they come to the flag. William, turn 1, final time. It's anybody's race to win.
They touch doors right there. Chris Blanchard on the low side. Dan Hagen on the top side right there. Rocking that NASA space machine right there. Got a big push from the 5 behind him right there. That's Morales in the 5. Going to come off a 2. So Chris Blanchard leading the way.
Back straight away. This is going on to the final time. Brady, what are you doing right now on the cockpit going into turn 3? What are you thinking?
Oh,
Here's the Hagen turns Blanchard. Twinham goes in the grass. So does Newbert. Somehow swings by in the lead now. Noah Willis. Where the hell did he come from? Noah Willis is Toyota. He brought out a caution earlier in the race. He is going to come out of here like a thief in the night in the Primer Toyota to win Duel number 2. Wow.
What a finish, just like Duel Race number 1. We have a rookie come out and win Duel Race number 2. Who would have thought? No paint scheme on there, no sponsors to speak of. Noah Willis said, I spent all my time on the track, and we see exactly why here tonight with the Duel Race number 2 huge win.
Noah Willis picking up the win here in Duel Race number 2. Brady, what are you thinking here? Unbelievable, man.
Yeah, it was fun. I hope the guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it calms down a little bit, being a points race next week. These guys just came out here
Yes.
and raced for money, so I'm glad for everybody. We had 50-something guys come out tonight, I want to say 51, 52 guys, so kudos to all those guys, and hope they all enjoyed it.
26 in race number 1, 22 of race number 2. So 48 of 60 drivers that were sent the invite, but highly entertaining. Joey Doucette, no doubt about it. Here's a look at the on the pole instant replay one more time. Okay, it did not trigger another Surf Pro caution. They were coming to the flag. And like the parting of the Red Seas in the Bible, if you will, look at Hagen, ironically, in a red truck that splits the pack, turns Blanchard. Hagen gets into Morales. Somehow Twinham gets hit again by Blanchard. And look at Willis, somehow weasel by to the lead. Wow.
Just unbelievable.
Yeah, and Wesley, I want to
look,
thank these drivers for
Netcode
being up
again.
here in the booth with us because they gave us this excellent point of view here. We get their live reactions to this craziness right here. We're going to see Noah Willis, guys, go from 5th to 1st in about a half a lap.
I'm trying to wonder if there's netcode. Hagen and Morales got into one another. By the way, I do see the chat box is lively. We appreciate your comments, but obviously in the heat of the moment, in the acting of the moment, you're seeing things happening all at one time. And I per se can't say that it was done intentionally. There has been cautions, obviously, that have been because of netcode tonight. But man, Noah Willis found the way to weasel through all this, if you will, and he is going to pick up the winner in Duel number 2. He's going to join, of course, the winner of Duel 1 on the, and that is the driver, of course, of
Adam Newton.
Adam Newton. Apologies. Yeah, but so much action tonight. He's going to be joining Adam Newton on the outside of row number 2, and this guy is still making laps around Daytona. He's still celebrating William Tiller.
He sure is. It's going to be an exciting interview to speak with Noah Willis. Probably doesn't know where the broadcast booth is or where Victory Lane here he is in Daytona. He could be an experienced driver, Wesley. We just don't know much about him just yet. Very mysterious with no paint scheme on there. We just see a few decals, maybe just to get inside the race here tonight. But Brady, how excited are you? We're joined by Brady LaBeouf and Joey Doucette up here in the Nazareth 360 broadcast booth. Brady, how does this make you excited about all the rookies this season? And did you know who Noah was before we got this race started?
One of my teammates brought him in. Sean Hamilton said he had a buddy that wanted to race a handful of races with us, so we signed him up for Mission 1 Esports. The final entry list is going to come out this week, so I'll get with you guys for that before the season. But yeah, he said he wanted to come and check it out, so we're letting him come out and race a handful, and he's 1 for 1 now.
Well, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and get to those podium finishers. But, Joey, excited to see what you have in store this season. Again, we want to thank you for joining us here for this exciting dual race number 2. Any final thoughts or what your thoughts are about this season, and what are you looking forward to the most?
Just racing with these guys. I spotted for Chris last year and saw how good the racing was, and then Chris started the team, and I just came over and want to run clean with these guys. I know they can run good. This was a heck of a show tonight. Just can't wait till next week and run good. And all these rookies, I mean, Noah, congratulations, buddy. I mean, and to Adam, I mean, these rookies are going to show us up.
Yeah, to make things go by quicker, we're just going to interview the winner like we did in race number 1 with Adam Newton. We're going to do the same thing with Noah Willis. And Noah, man, what a move. Literally process of elimination, whatever you want to call it. You had problems earlier in the race, but somehow you fought your way through and you end up with the victory here. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I really didn't have any expectations. I wanted to shove a top 10 maybe if we got up there, if everybody wrecked themselves out or what have you. But I honestly I got to put it to the guys that I had there in the spotting room for me. I appreciate them, and we kind of worked together, had a strategy going for the team as well too. Just kind of happy to be here as well too. I mean, Brady took a chance on me to run with him, and I'm okay to be here as a part-time driver, but that's a heck of a way to start and something to back up, I guess. So.
Yeah, and Noah coming in as a rookie here, not knowing the field, not knowing what their driving style is like, did it add any extra nerves to this race here tonight, or were you just confident in your skills?
Oh no, 100%. I haven't really raced in the league yet, so being able to come in here and see the guys racing and how tight they actually were in the packs, and going from officials to this is definitely a big change. So there was a lot of pressure on it. I just wanted to make sure I had a good run and a good race. I mean, shoot, yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better result, but there definitely was some process of elimination, like Wesley was saying. So no, I it's just a great opportunity to run and had a really fun time doing it today.
And Wesley, if I could, I don't think folks know much about you there, Noah. Of course, by the paint scheme, you're like the James Bond. You're like the mystery man here. What can folks know about you heading into this season?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a Alaska-bred racer. I don't know. I mean, I picked it up about 5 or 6 years ago. Just started running iRacing and have been loving it since. So, I'm just glad we can hold a good connection up here in Alaska, and I'm glad to be here. I'm super excited to run alongside with like Brady and Sean. So I'm excited to have those guys around.
And Wesley, did you have anything for our rookie winner here in dual race number 2 before we close out the night here? What's been a firework of a night? Oh, looks like Wesley is still chatting there. But Noah, before we launch into the regular season next week, you come off of this win here. Did you maybe catch dual race number 1? And what are some of the things you can take from these races that maybe you can apply to the week number 1 when we officially kick it off?
Yeah, I caught the first one. I saw that there was a little bit of tussles going on. Obviously, a couple different cautions here and there. So I kind of banked on that strategy that there might have been a couple different cautions coming in. The team really had a great setup too. We had good stuff all the way through between team discussions there between the races and what worked for them, what didn't. So yeah, we kind of used that to our advantage a little bit. I mean, to get me into the position of where I was, even with a 5th place finish, I was fine. Just to have a little bit of extra fun there to part the seas and get through there. But yeah, I would have been okay with a 5th place finish, but the team had a great like kind of choice of what they were going to do to set me up to be in that position. So all credit kind of goes to the team there.
All right, Noah. Well, buddy, congratulations to you, man. You'll be firing off in that 4th position at Daytona next week. We got to get off the air, guys. I've got another iRacing broadcast obligation at the top of the hour in less than 3 minutes. But, man, congratulations again. That's Adam Newton and Noah Willis, the dual winners here tonight at Daytona. William Tiller in closing, man. We should see some exciting racing next week at Daytona. And I kind of have to follow the same sentiments of Brady LaBeouf. Hopefully they'll mind their P's and Q's and be a little patient and not have 4 trucks at the finish.
Looking at this here tonight, again, Wesley, we want to thank all of our special guests here tonight with the likes of Joey Doucette. We had Tyler Dittmer up here. Adam Newbert was in here. We also had the boss man, Brady LaBeouf, was in here as well. Joey Doucette. So Brandon Broadfoot in that 22 machine. So all those drivers giving us that excellent insight here tonight, Wesley. And what was an exciting night. I don't think we could have asked for more. Both finishes came down to overtime, Wesley. And I know the folks next week are going to be in for one heck of a season 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time for sure. No doubt about it. Of course, thanks to everybody that's involved with the North American Sim Racing Association, NASRA Racing on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks also to Brady LaBeouf, Cody Knott, Director, of course, of Operations, Adam Flieger, working on our broadcast behind the scenes. All the men that were our driver analysts, as we mentioned, as guests. And, of course, for William Tiller. I'm Wesley Outland. Congratulations again to Adam Newton and Noah Willis. They will make up Road 2 in Daytona for the Season 2 opener points race next Monday night. This has been coverage of the NASRA Sim Racer Hub Truck Series on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. We'll see you again tomorrow night for coverage from, of course, the Pulse Popper Late Model Stock Car Series from Stafford Speedway. Good night, everybody.